Guys, Zoology King here, back with another Zoology King nature video. This video is going to be all about pollination, and this is an educational video, so let's get started right now. Alright guys, so what is pollination before we start talking about pollinators? Well, pollination is when pollen is transferred from the male part of the flower, aka the stamen, and is put into the female part of the flower, or the top part of the female part of a flower. The top part is called the stigma, and then the part holding it up is called the pistil. Now, how it gets there is by pollinators. And what will happen is a pollinator will carry it on a part of its body if it's an animal, or just carry it away if it's the wind. And we're going to talk about two different types of pollinators. We're going to talk about, in my case, there's two different types of pollinators. There's the insect and small invertebrate pollinators, which I believe is more effective. And then there are the other types of pollinators, small mammals, hummingbirds, and the wind. So let's start with the bigger animals and the wind, and then we'll move on to the smaller invertebrates, insects. Just about anything can really become a pollinator. One of the main things, of course, are small mammals. Now, things like bats that deliberately drink the nectar from the flowers are very effective small mammals who are pollinators, as they are getting purposely right next to the flowers and collecting it. But other small animals and even bigger animals can actually be pollinators, just like our own cat, Star, right over here. If Star was to be walking through a flower field, then she would just be walking by, and then flowers would brush past her, and the stamen, who was producing pollen that's super sticky, would attach right here nicely on her fur. Then while she was walking around, it would brush off on another flower's pistil, and that would reproduce the flowers. So it's incredibly effective when mammals are doing it, but it's even more effective when things like insects are doing it. Also, like I said before, wind is another type of pollinator. So wind will be brushing by, floating by, and it will pick up the pollen that the stamen has created and bring it by until the stigma, the top of the female part of a flower, which is also sticky, the pollen will hit that, and that will attach to it, and then reproducing flowers. So it's incredibly effective. But then another super effective thing is insects, which we are about to get to right now. Obviously, the first thing that comes to mind when we think of pollinators is the European honeybee, or just the honeybee. As you can see on this picture right here, it is pollinating right now inside this picture. See that yellow stuff right there? That is the pollen that it is collecting from the flower. Now, honeybees are not the only type of pollinators. Many other insects are pollinators. Any insect that drinks nectar from a flower is a pollinator, such as butterflies, beetles, and mosquitoes are pollinators too. You see, male mosquitoes like to drink the nectar from flowers, while the female mosquitoes like to drink our blood and other animals' blood. Well guys, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you're a little bit skeptic on the fact that beetles and mosquitoes and the wind or smaller animals are in fact pollinators, I will leave some resources down below that you can go check out yourself. But as of that, this has been Zoology King, and I will see you on the next nature video.